Hey folks, how you doing? Pawpaw here. I just wanted to jump on for a minute and talk to you guys about where we're at and update you on my daughter's shed to home conversion. Had a lot of folks that have been asking me where we're at and what we're gonna do as far as starting to get the her shed built. And so I just thought I'd talk to you a little bit about where we're at and what's going on. Um, Tons of rain, tons of rain. I don't know what it's like where you're at, but where I'm at, it's been raining, seems like every day, just on and off. And so what we've had a lot of trouble with is trying to get the fella out here to do the dirt work that we need done to fix our spot so that we can get our shed placed. Um, Her shed is bought, and it's got a for sale sign, sold sign put on it, and it's ready to go. But I can't get it delivered until I get the foundation built, and I can't get the foundation built until I get this dirt work finished. And the rain is giving us the trouble right now. Hey, Deborah from North Carolina, and Christy. Hey, Christy. Maggie, come. Sorry, my dog just ran across the road. Maggie, come. Come. Sorry, I hope I aren't yelling at you guys. I don't want my dogs to get hit. Come. They've been stuck inside just like us. Come on. Let me get them back in. I don't want them walking out here by the road with us. Sorry, this is just an impromptu live. I just thought I'd bring y'all out here and show you what's going on. If you hadn't seen any of the videos where I talked about what I was planning on doing, this is, I'm gonna spin you guys around. Can everybody hear me okay? Somebody give me a thumbs up or let me know if you can hear me. I got my microphone on. Okay, thank you. Sorry for screaming at y'all. I was afraid the dog was gonna get hit. I heard a car coming. But and now they're gonna bark and fuss because I've left them in the fence and didn't bring them with me. I'm gonna spin you around and I'll show you. Okay. So here's our front yard of our property. I'll spin around here and kind of look back. That's our shed there, our shed conversion, and of course the privacy fence I built. Along with, oh, Maggie, she found her way out of the fence. Doggone it. Anyway, there's our shed there. And then this used to be an old circle driveway. I don't know if you can tell. It used to be a big circle driveway that come around this whole property. And now it's just an L shape. We just use this part, but right here is where we're gonna place my daughter's shed when it comes. And I don't know if this how well this is coming off on video, but if you look in this area, it's a low-lying area, and when it rains a lot like it's been being, there's a little bit of water here now, but it'll really puddle up. And then I don't know if you can tell, but there's a natural low spot right here across the driveway. And what happens is this will puddle up, and when it gets high enough, it has really nowhere to go, so it just runs over this lowest spot. And then it works its way to the back of our property, and that's fine. But the only problem is this is going to be right where that shed sits. And so my concern, of course, is if I take my daughter's shed and place it right here, and then there's going to be water every time it rains. It pools up under her shed. And even though it's going to be up off the ground, we don't want water under the crawl space, obviously. So the plan is the guy's coming I apologize for the noise. I'm right here by the road. Might have a truck pass once in a while. Yep, there goes a semi carrying a load of good old mountain rocks. They get rocks here locally and sell them. But anyway, when we bring in a load of chert here and have it leveled out, that's my sister-in-law's mobile home next door. She owns the 1.5 acres next door to us. But anyway, when we level this out, and then I'm gonna have him, he's gonna come right through here, and right across our driveway here, he's gonna put a culvert in. And that'll let the rainwater divert on out, because just right over there in the edge of those bushes is our property border, and there's a creek there. It's kind of just a wet weather creek. Matter of fact, you might can see the right there is where the culvert is for where the creek goes under the road. But so the idea is to divert rainwater that way, and then it won't pool over here. And so anyway, that's the plan. As soon as I can get some chert brought in and get that leveled, then I can go and put my posts in the ground and get it ready for the shed to be delivered. It's just amazing. It's just amazing how everything has to work in steps. And if one thing falls down, well, then you're just stuck waiting. And bless his heart, the fellow that's supposed to come out and do this for us, he's anxious to get at it, but he's also behind because the rain has put him behind with all his other customers. Now, we're supposed to be next in line, so we'll see how that goes. But anyway, I just wanted to jump on here and kind of give you guys an idea of what's holding us up. And there've been a lot of folks commenting and saying, you know, well, get on with it. Why don't you hurry up and build that shed? They want to see the whole build, and I understand. I'm excited to build it. But a lot of these things you see on YouTube, you'll watch these videos of these folks doing these things, and they've already done it all. And they've videotaped the whole process, and then they release all the videos, which makes it easy for people to binge watch. Well, I wasn't smart enough to do that. I started my channel and on the hopes that I was going to build this, and now that we are building it, it's going to take a little time to do it, and we'll just have to do it a little at a time as we go. So anyway, I say all that to say you just have to bear with us. I guess if it wasn't raining, we'd be complaining about a drought, right? So I guess we should just be proud with whatever the good Lord sends us. But anyway, I tell you what, the rain hadn't been good for building our shed conversion, but my wife's garden is doing really well. I'll take y'all out here for a minute and show you. I'm gonna spin you around. So here's the back side of that fence where we were just at. I don't know if you guys have ever seen our much of our yard or anything before, but there's our mini split. This is the inside of our privacy fence, and y'all, want y'all look at these blueberries. Man, our blueberry bushes, we just love blueberries, and this is, I planted these maybe 2 years ago. This may be their 3rd year. I planted them right after we moved in. At least these 8 bushes up here. And man, just look. Look at those blueberries. I gotta get out here and pick them again. We done picked, I don't know how much. So they're doing really well. And then next to that is my blackberry patch, which I might have should have rethought where I put my blackberries. But y'all look at them. These are big old blackberries. These are triple crown thornless blackberries. And they are sweet. And they are huge. I mean, I want you to just look at that. Look how big that is. That's a heck of a blackberry right there. My wife made a blackberry cobbler the other night. Boy, that was good. And I got some grapes here. I've never had much luck with grapes. We'll see how these turn out all along this little line. I made me a little arbor out of a, oh, there's my wife's, one of her raised beds with her tomato plants going. She's got a few other little things in here, mix match. Got some kale growing over there, and she pulled a lot of her carrots today. But there's some of her carrots left, and this is her strawberry patch right here. We've ate a ton of strawberries out of that little patch. And that's my asparagus bed I started. I didn't harvest any of them this year. I'm just letting them grow. You say you're supposed to, the first couple of years, you let them just fern out. Anyway, that's our little garden. It's a work in progress. We do different things with it every year. I'll spin you back around. But anyhow, I see Randy. Hey, Randy. Yeah, that rain's really messed you up this year too, hasn't it? Randy's one of our porch members in our porch community over at, go to askpawpaw.com/porch. We have a pretty good community of folks over there that are doing kind of what I've done, building tiny homes and off-grid living and doing shed conversions and different tiny home things. So we have a good time over there talking about things and trying to learn from each other. So if you guys aren't a part of that, you're welcome. It's free to come over and join the porch community with us. And Randy's part of that. He's actually a porch guide over there, one of our main guys that keeps everybody straight and helps them figure out where to find the information, and he's a resource of information himself. So anyway, thanks, Christy. I'm trying to look at the comments now. I've been walking and talking. I can see them now. Christy said they had a lot of rain in Southwest Tennessee too. Yep, your potatoes are rotting in the ground before you can get them out. Yep. And who else am I seeing? Sorry, I'm trying to scroll through and read. Christy says she wants to plant some asparagus. Yeah, this is my first time trying to grow asparagus. I researched a little bit about them, and actually this is just, went to Walmart or Tractor Supply, I can't remember, and bought, I think it came in like a pack of 10 of the crowns, which is more or less just the root system. And so I just built this little cinder block bed for them so they'd have kind of a permanent place, because they say they can last for 25, 50 years in one spot. So I'll give you a quick look at them if you hadn't seen up close. Like I said, I'd never planted asparagus before, and I didn't know. I don't know if y'all can see that in the video, but there's they get these little berries on them. Interesting. But if you look in there, you can see the, Maggie, quit that, come here. The dog's over there probably trying to eat a strawberry or something. But you can see some little spears coming up that we could probably eat. Most of them I've let get too big, of course. Once they grow up and fern out, you say hi, Maggie. She's a good dog. And Olive's in the house. And that's my wife's her flower bed there, which is about taken over. That's all bee balm. I mean, I want you to look. She loves her bee balm. And then this is I don't even remember what this is. This is um, some sort of native plant. I really like native plants. And so what I'll do is I'll find some in nature here close to the property, and I got an app on my phone that you can take a picture of it and it'll tell you instantly. I can't remember the name of it right this second, but the app will tell you exactly what it is and all about it. And those are just coneflowers there. And those are native to this area. I try to do native all I can. And there's my wife's, that big old monster of a thing. That's about to take over the whole garden. That is my wife's New Dawn climbing rose. And that thing is ridiculous. I built her a big trellis for it there, kind of like an arbor for it. And it's kind of taken over. It's real pretty when it blooms though. There's another native plant. I can't remember what it is either. I got all the names written down somewhere. She's got a little bit of everything in here. And hey, Jeff, good to see you. Well, thank you, Christy, for saying it's gorgeous. It's actually a mess right now. She needs to get in here and cut some of this back. She's been doing all she can, just weeding. I mean, look at that. That's ground cover that she actually planted, and it's just taken over. So I built this for her, and it started out just with the landscape timbers and the railroad ties. And then I made her beds in the middle, and then I put this landscape fabric down. Now this is that high dollar nursery fabric. It's not the cheap stuff like you get at Walmart. This stuff's been in here for 2.5 years, I think. And our intention, she really wants some of that white rock. I know you know what I'm talking about. It's fancy. The only place you see it just about is in those bags at Lowe's or something. But it's going to take so much of it to fill it up. I wish she'd settle for gravel, but I think she's going to make me wait until I can afford to get her white rock, but we're going to fill these walkways in, and then it'll be real pretty. It'll be more of a contrast with that white. And then walking around the yard, look how high this grass has got. Y'all, I keep my yard mowed really low all the time, but it has really been raining so much we can barely mow. These, I planted these about a year ago, I think. Maybe last spring I got them on clearance at a Walmart. I get all our plants. If I don't get them from seed, I get them on the clearance rack at Walmart or Lowe's or somewhere like that. But these are mulberry. What do they call them? Dwarf everberry mulberry bushes or something like that. And I've never had a mulberry in my life, but they looked interesting. So I bought them. Have any of y'all ever had mulberries before? They look, to me, when you see a picture of the fruit, they look something sort of like a blackberry. But I've got 5 of them here, and they're doing really well. And then here's the back side of my wife's garden. And these are also bee balm, bergamot. I forget the exact name for them, but these are the actual native variety. These pink ones, they're the native variety, and this other one is more like a hybrid because of the color. And right down there's don't know if you can see that. My wife usually keeps that cleaned up a little better, but that's our doggy cemetery. Unfortunately, our little Chihuahua we had 14 years passed away, and his name was Rascal. He was a good doggy, and he's buried there. My little shed out here, and oh, and here's my. While we're out showing around, I'll show you my apple tree. I planted this last year, and it is really sad, but it's got some apples on it this year. It produced some last year, but I didn't, I picked them all off except for one. I let one grow because I heard you're not supposed to let it fruit the first year or the second year. And this would be the third year, I guess. It's 3 years old. And we've got a few apples on there. I don't know if y'all had trouble where you live with the cicadas, but we had cicadas. Was it last spring? I can't remember. Last summer, whenever they hatched out. And if you can see this, I'll try to show you. You see that? That's cicada damage. Here's another example. That is cicada damage. So the cicadas, these are the 13-year cicadas. They come out every 13 years. And what they do is they hatch out, they mate, they come along to the end of the stems. They find a nice, let's see if I can find another example. There's where my second apple tree was at. I bought two. That one did not make it. It died. And I just pulled it up recently. Here's some of my peach. Same thing, I can show you. I know y'all can see that. That's cicada damage. That's where the cicadas, they hatch out. They mate, and then they come along and they find a part of the stem here on these plants, and they burrow and cut a little line in there, and they'll lay their eggs in there. And the eggs don't hurt the plants themselves, but what happens is those eggs will turn into larvae. They'll come out of the plant and drop to the ground. They burrow down in the ground, and they live in the ground dormant for 13 years, and then it starts all over again. But so just the act of them burrowing into the stem, that's what causes your problems. And last year when that happened, you could look around and look at the trees, and you could see brown tips everywhere. And because they just do it on the very tips of the limbs in the nice, soft, new growth, I guess. Anyway, here's some varieties of milkweed. Like I said, I love native plant, and I planted these for the monarch butterflies. So when they come through, they'll have something to lay their eggs on and something to eat. And I guess that's about it. If y'all look up, you can see the mountain in the background. We live right at the foot of the mountain. That's Sand Mountain. And anyway, I've bored y'all enough. I just thought I'd take you for a little walk while I was here. But my main purpose was to jump on here and let everybody know that I'm trying to get the shed going. And I promise when I do anything, I'll do my best to get a video of it and document it and let you know what I'm doing. So just have patience with me. I got some other things planned I'd like to do as far as budgeting and helping folks maybe come up with some ideas for getting their financing for their tiny home and for finding their land, and I don't know, any other ways that I can help folks, but for now, we're kind of at a standstill, just waiting for this rain to quit and for everything to dry up, and we can get that dirt work done, and then I can get the foundation built, and I'll be sure to make a video of that. And as soon as I can get all that done, I can call that company and they'll bring that shed on out. I talked to the shed mover and he was actually pretty happy. I don't want to say happy, but he was relieved that I wasn't calling him to rush him to bring it, because he's behind also. He's way behind in getting sheds delivered because of the rain. So they said it wasn't a problem at all. So I guess everything in its due time, right? When it's meant to be, it's meant to be. But, well, thank you, Jeff. Jeff said you're doing awesome. I appreciate that. I'm trying my best. Hi, Elizabeth. Elizabeth says hi. Christy says she had a dachshund that would catch and kill cicadas. Well, boy, he or she would have had a field day here last year, because I mean they were everywhere. They were a mess, and I actually lost 4 or 5 of my new blueberry bushes that I'd planted last year. I planted them, and then the cicadas came out, and it was enough damage that they just were young and couldn't handle them laying eggs in them like that. But anyway, this is our little space. So I'll do my best, y'all. As soon as I can get that foundation going, I'll be sure and make videos, like I said, for y'all. And if there's anything you want to see between now and then, or any questions you have, feel free to leave them in the comments and let me know. If there's a video you'd like me to make, I do plan on making, like I said, some budgeting videos. I've had several requests, folks wanting to have some ideas on ways that they can maybe get ready for doing something like what we're doing. Hey, Ty, good to see you, buddy. Thanks for stopping by. And then once again, let me remind you that you can come join my porch community, our porch community. It's not so much about me anymore. I think we've got well over 100 members, and a lot of them are pretty active in there and come in every day and talk to folks. And so it's really becoming a community. It's not just my spot. I created it for people to be able to come and interact with each other and learn from each other. So, and it's working out really well. And like I said, it's free. You can go to askpawpaw.com/porch is how you can get into it. And matter of fact, as Jeff and Randy there are both community members, and they can tell you we're going to have a porch meetup this evening at 6. So here just in a few hours, we're going to have our very first porch meetup. So if you want to join, you're welcome to join. And it's going to be similar to a live like this, except our porch meetups are in a live video and voice room. So part of the community is we have rooms, and you guys can actually jump on there, and it's like a Zoom call. If you're familiar with Zoom call, it's a video conference, and you don't have to show your face. You can cut your camera off and just do the voice, or you can just listen in, join the room, and you can mute your voice and mute your camera and just listen in if you'd like to. But we're going to do that at 6 o'clock today. So if you want to, jump in, join the group, and askpawpaw.com/porch, and you'll be in there. And at 6 p.m., we're going to do that with our first ever Ask Pawpaw's Porch Community Meetup. So anyway, hey, Jeff, thank you. Jeff left me one of them super chat things, I guess. Is that what that is? That may be the first one I've ever got. I don't know. Thank you, Jeff. That was nice of you. But anyway, y'all be sure and join me for that. And if you guys have any questions, you're welcome to ask them. If I can help you, let me get these rubber boots off. Won't track any mud in the house. Actually, it's pretty nice out here now. It's a little humid. At least it ain't raining at the moment. Hi, Rita. Rita says hi. So Christy says they've changed the laws here since I bought the property, and I can't hook power to a tiny house. Might have to do solar. Hi, Vanessa. Vanessa says hi from Plymouth, UK. I assume you mean United Kingdom, huh? You're all in England. Doesn't that just blow y'all's mind how you can talk to somebody all the way across the world on YouTube? That's really neat. Christy, so I'm contemplating solar myself. Funny you should mention that because and I'll just be honest with you guys. I try to always be upfront and honest with folks, but starting this YouTube channel, I've been really blessed. The Lord's blessed me. I've gotten I don't want to say popular, but I've done pretty good with the YouTube channel. I've had a lot of people. I'm up to I think 19,000 subscribers now, which is huge for me. I know there's people that have millions of subscribers, but for me, that's a big deal when 19,000 people, pretty much say, hey, we like to hear what you're saying and the things you're doing. So I'm very humbled by that. But in having that, I've had several companies contact me, as they tend to do when you start getting a few views on YouTube, and they want to offer to send me products to try and make videos on and that sort of thing. And I've done a couple. Actually, there's one I think is going to post today. Um, and the reason I tell you that is I've had several companies. Uh, Bye, Rita. Have a good evening. Thanks for stopping by. I've had several companies offer to provide me with solar batteries, like lithium phosphate batteries and that sort of thing. So, uh, that being said, I've contemplated doing my daughter's shed with strictly solar, like kind of being an off grid situation. But I'm a little nervous about that because I just don't know enough about solar. I know a little bit about solar. Like we built a small system for our cargo trailer. I'm sure you've seen that, um, but I haven't to do one for a whole house. Even though it's a tiny house and it's only 200 square feet, it makes me a little nervous to be 100% off grid. So we'll see um, whether or not I end up doing that. But I am very interested in solar. I do play around with solar a little bit here and there, and I'm trying to learn more about it. And as I learn more, I hope to do some videos to teach others. I mean, of course, I can only teach very basic stuff because I'm just learning myself. But um, I don't think nowadays, it's gotten to where solar is a lot cheaper than it used to be. It's actually almost doable now, especially for a tiny house. They say when you start to think about doing solar, the first thing you need to do is think about not how much energy you can produce, but how less of energy you can need, if that makes sense. It's kind of the oh, you gonna stick around a little bit, Rita? Sorry, I misunderstood your quote there. But there, yeah, Jeff said, "Don't let your fear stop you. It's not as hard as it seems." Jeff is our guy on solar. He's done several pretty good sized builds, so he's our man in the community as far as a solar expert. I'd probably go to him for any of my questions. But um, what I was going to say was, it's like me for when I think about retirement. One reason I started this channel was in the beginning, it was going to be helping people who did not prepare properly for retirement. Like, how are they going to live? Because that's what me and my wife thought. We were pretty foolish earlier in life and did not prepare as far as saving money for retirement like we should have. And so that kind of led us to doing the shed conversion and the going tiny, was because we didn't want a mortgage and we needed to get ourselves in a situation so that when we do retire. And by the way, I don't know if I've ever told you guys, I'm sure some of you know, I'm 55. I'm sorry, I'm 54. I'll be 55 in October. And I'm hoping when I hit 62 and I can draw Social Security, I'm hoping to retire at least to a very part time level. And so my idea is between now and then to get myself in a situation where I need a very little amount of money to live. Okay. So in my mind, it's not about how much money you make, it's about needing less, not making more, but needing less. And I think that's the same thing when it comes to solar. I think the first thing you got to think of is how can you limit your needs with electricity and get it as low as you can, and then you build up your solar system to match those needs. Does that make sense? So that being said, with my daughter's shed conversion and a tiny home like that, 200 square foot, I think it'd be feasible to design her house in a way that we can actually use just solar. So, for instance, just off the top of my head, she and I sat down the other day and we talked about. Oh, I'm sorry, my neck is killing me. My Father's Day was Sunday, right? And so my son-in-law, we went to my oldest daughter's house, her and my son-in-law's house, and he had rented one of those big blow up water slides. I don't know if you've seen those. You pay the company and they bring them out. I mean, this thing was huge. I wish could put some pictures up, but and foolish me, just because the grandbabies kept wanting me to, I got up there and slid down that thing about 3 times, and I think I got whiplash. I'm telling you what, you don't realize how old your body's getting until you try to do some crazy stuff. But anyway, so me and my daughter sat down and was talking about her home, and I said, "Hey, you need to think about what appliances do you really want in your house? I mean, what can you get by with, and what can you do without?" And we started talking about, okay, well, you're probably not going to have a full size oven. Can you get by with, let's say, a microwave, or better yet, one of those microwave slash convection oven slash air fryer, if you know what I'm talking about? There's ways that you can really trim down your electricity use. And then I told her, well, we could always do like we did here for our shed. We use propane to cook with. So our stovetop is propane. And I told her, you can get a little small 2 burner propane cooktop, and then you're not using electricity at all for your cooking. And then we started looking at the different hot water heaters and that sort of thing. Could we put it on propane and, trim enough stuff down? And then, of course, if I had the money, I'd love to get her a Minisplit air conditioner heat pump for her heating and cooling. Because if we insulate it well, that Minisplit should do fine. And they have one now. I don't know if y'all have heard of them, but it's oh, hey, Mr. B. There's another Porch Community member stepping in here and saying hi. But they have a Minisplit now that is EG4 is the brand, but it's a hybrid Minisplit, and so it runs off of either AC or DC, and so you can hook solar panels up to it. I think you need about, from my research that I did, about 1,600 watts, so like maybe 400 watt panels. But you can hook that up to it, and as long as the sun's shining enough, it'll run, that air conditioner will run completely off the solar. And then, but the great thing about it is if it's cloudy or day like today where it's not producing much, it's rainy, or at night, it'll flip over to the grid power and run off of AC. And so, but in the end, you're going to save a lot of electricity, obviously. So little things like that you can do. And, and then, of course, we don't need all the appliances that we use day to day. I know we're spoiled to them and we're used to them, and I would have a hard time. Uh, I see my cell phone battery is getting low, and what in the world would I do if if my cell phone ran out of juice? I'd just have a come apart, wouldn't I, as they say. But you really don't need as many appliances and as much electricity as people think they do. I think there's ways to get by with a lot less. I mean, people use candles for thousands of years, right? Hundreds of years. But we'll see about the solar. We'll see what we end up doing. And Christy, I'd be interested to learn what you do. So keep us informed on that. I'm just scrolling back through the chat here, guys, and make sure I didn't miss anybody. Brian says he's from the Philippines. Wow. Isn't that neat? People from all over. Jeff says, yeah, Jeff said, don't let the fear stop you. Okay, Jeff, I'm taking that as you're going to help me when if I start to do my daughter's solar system, you're going to help me. Uh, Jeff says the technology changes so fast, you got to be careful how you build it. That's true. All this technology, y'all, is changing so fast. Gwen says, hi, Pawpaw and everyone from Maui, Hawaii, I assume. Lost my housing in the fire. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Would love a tiny home. Yep. I tell you what, it's Jeff said he's on board to help me. I appreciate that, Jeff. Uh, our house is not tiny. I get trolls all the time on my comments saying that's not a tiny home, because a tiny home officially is what, less than 500 or less than 400, I don't know. But our home is pretty small. It's 600, a little over 600 square feet if you don't count the porch out here as livable space. And so it's pretty small, especially right now with 3 adults and a toddler and 2 dogs. It seems real small sometimes. But anyway, you know what? I've kept y'all a long time, and I don't want to start rambling. But oh, Mr. B said mini splits only work good to about 20 degrees. Yep. Of course, fortunately, I'm in northern Alabama. Here, it does get cold. I mean, we get down to freezing and I mean down to 0 degrees sometimes, but very rare, and it's for very short periods of time. It doesn't get much below 20, and so we've had a mini split here for a little over 3.5 years. I guess we've been in this house, and that's all we have is a mini split for our heating and cooling, and it's worked. The floor gets cold because it's not insulated, but other than that, it's worked. Believe it or not. So I've been very, very, very lucky. It's a 12,000 BTU unit. So, but y'all, my little cell phone battery is flashing red, and I don't want to cut off on y'all. So I'm gonna head on out. But I appreciate you spending some time with me. And like I said, if you haven't joined our community yet, go over to askpawpaw.com/porch, and when you go there, it'll help you sign up. It's free to join and become one of the porch members there. We have a lot of discussions. Several of these folks, the good folks that are on right now on this live, are porch members, and they're all just super good, salt of the earth folks that are out there wanting to help people. They'll have a question and they'll ask it, and if they have an answer, they'll give it. And we have a lot of fun talking about different things, everything from our dogs and cats and our animals and our garden to building our tiny homes to solar power to you name it. But just go over there to askpawpaw.com/porch. I'll put it in the description later here because I'm going to go back and put a description in. But if you want to come join, we're actually going to have our very first porch meetup at 6 p.m. today. So until next time, guys, I appreciate you. And I really am humbled by all the support and the encouragement I get from you guys on this channel. And I hope you learned something, and I hope I can help y'all. And if nothing else, I hope I can draw people that are smarter than me together so that we can help each other. But like I said in the beginning, and the purpose of this live was to let you know I am still going forward with my daughter's shed. I have it built. It's ready to go. It's sitting on the lot waiting for me to tell them to bring it on. But I got to get this dirt work done first. And it's got to quit raining long enough for them to be able to get in the chert pit, dig the chert, bring it over, level it out for me so that I can put those foundation posts in. So I just wanted to let y'all know I hadn't forgot about you. And we're going to keep moving along just as soon as we get time. And the good Lord's willing to give us some sunshine for enough days in a row. But hey, y'all, I appreciate you. All righty. And y'all take care. Okay. Have a good evening. And I'll see you over in the porch community.